The tension in boxing has reached a fever pitch as Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul prepare to collide in one of the most controversial matchups in recent memory. But behind the press conferences and the social media noise lies a deeper story, one of legacy, pride, and survival in a sport that's struggling to separate authenticity from spectacle. As the cameras roll and words fly, Tank Davis is doing something few fighters of his size would dare, stepping into the ring with men twice his weight, going to war in training sessions that look more like gladiator trials than sparring practice. It's not for the cameras, not for hype, it's to prove that he's still the face of real boxing. In the leaked footage, Tank stands toe-to-toe with a towering heavyweight, moving with the same grace and precision that made him a champion in lighter divisions. When the bell rings, there's no hesitation. Davis steps in, unleashing a thunderous left that sends the big man reeling into the ropes. For a split second, even the trainers go silent. That's the moment everyone realizes Tank isn't just preparing for Jake Paul. He's exercising something deeper, something personal. The whispers in the gym say that one heavyweight was literally lifted off his feet by a single punch. You can see it in the replays, the way Davis explodes, the way the ring shakes. That's not just speed or power. That's controlled violence, sharpened by years of discipline. Observers who've been inside Tank's camp say his current training looks unlike anything he's done before. Instead of dominating smaller opponents, he's forcing himself to adapt, sparring with bigger men to condition his body and mind for the size disadvantage he'll face on fight night. His coach yells from the corner, "Punch where he punches." "Don't stop!" The rhythm never breaks. Davis isn't just testing his limits. He's dismantling them. It's about removing the psychological barrier of size. If he can drop a heavyweight in camp, he won't fear the weight difference in the ring against Jake Paul. The upcoming fight, set for November 14th in Atlanta, Georgia, has already drawn controversy. Davis stands at 5'4", weighing around 135 pounds. Jake Paul towers at 6'1" and enters the ring close to 200. The commission refused to sanction it as a professional bout, labeling it an exhibition. But for Tank, it's no exhibition, so it's personal vindication. Every jab, every combination is a reminder that real skill outweighs celebrity hype. Analysts are divided. Some call it a mismatch, others a masterstroke. But if you watch the way Davis is training, it's clear. He's preparing not just to win, but to humiliate Jake Paul on a stage too big for games. Former UFC fighter and analyst Chael Sonnen has said it best: the credibility of boxing rests on Tank's shoulders. Jake Paul has made a career out of blurring the lines between sport and entertainment, but Sonnen believes Davis carries the last remnants of the sport's soul. Tank's job, Sonnen said, is to remind the world that boxing is still real. For him, a knockout isn't just a victory, it's a message to every influencer who's treated the ring like a playground. Sonnen framed the fight as a philosophical battle: discipline versus disruption, legacy versus algorithms. Davis represents the art of boxing: timing, accuracy, defense, while Jake represents the viral age of instant gratification. And on fight night, those two worlds are about to clash. Davis's sparring with heavyweights has another purpose: to simulate what Jake Paul brings: awkward strength, wide shots, unpredictable timing. His trainers say he's studying movement angles, anticipating the unusual rhythm of a fighter who didn't grow up in the amateur system. Every round Tank fights in camp is a chess match against mass and chaos. Still, not everyone sees this as a fair test. Max Kellerman took a more personal angle, suggesting that Davis accepted the fight not out of necessity, but out of exhaustion. After years of grueling camps, legal issues, and media scrutiny, Tank may be looking for one big payday to secure his family's future. In that light, the Jake Paul bout is both a business decision and an emotional release. One last moment under the lights before stepping back. "He's been checked out," one analyst said bluntly. "This fight isn't about legacy. It's a cash out. But even if it is, no one doubts that Davis will make the most of it. If he wins decisively, he gets the check, the spotlight, and the respect of purists who still cling to what boxing used to be." Throughout the press tour, Jake Paul has done what he does best: talk. He's tried to rattle Davis, throwing verbal jabs and clowning his quiet demeanor, but Tank doesn't bite. He's not a talker. He's a technician. His silence at the mic isn't disinterest, it's calculation. As commentators like Sergio Mora pointed out, Tank's lack of charisma on the podium contrasts his brilliance in the ring. "He's not quick with words," Mora said, but his fists speak fluently. The crowd might laugh when Jake cracks a joke, but they'll fall silent the moment Tank connects. Still, the circus around this fight has stirred debate about what boxing has become. Critics argue that Davis, by agreeing to fight Jake Paul, is legitimizing the very thing he once stood against: influencer boxing. "Jake's not the problem," one commentator ranted. "Tank is. Jake's doing what's expected. He's a showman. But Tank? Tank's the real deal. He's supposed to carry the torch for boxing, not join the circus." Others disagree, claiming Davis is reclaiming control of the narrative. If he dominates Jake Paul, it's not a sellout, it's an exorcism. It's boxing reminding the world that no amount of followers can replace a fighter's instinct. Behind the scenes, there's talk of financial politics too. Tim Bradley hinted that Tank may have had little choice. With his previous fights falling through and promoters under pressure, the Jake Paul offer became the only viable option. "This isn't just a fight," Bradley said. "It's a business move, and maybe even a rescue mission for PBC." The network needs money, and Davis, being their biggest active star, is their last card to play. Whether Tank's fighting out of loyalty, pressure, or strategy, it's clear this fight carries more weight than just pride. But for fans, the equation is simple. They want to see if a real boxer can still dominate when the lights, the fame, and the money tempt the sport away from its roots. They want proof that the discipline of the gym still beats the algorithms of the internet. And in Tank Davis, they might still have that proof. A reminder that skill, not spectacle, defines greatness. So now the question isn't just who wins, it's what this fight means. Will Gervonta Davis reaffirm the power of real boxing, or will Jake Paul rewrite the rules once again? When that bell rings, the difference between hype and heritage will finally be tested. What do you think? Has Tank Davis made the right move by stepping into this fight, or is he risking his legacy for spectacle? Can Jake Paul survive even a few rounds with one of the most explosive punchers in modern boxing? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you believe real boxing still matters, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the drama, power, and passion that fuel the fight game.